It's now nearly a year since March 2024 when Google pledged to cut down on site reputation abuse, what we know as Parasite SEO or Barnacle SEO. And even though this has been really popular and trendy in the last 2 years or so, largely on the basis of the helpful content update where so many traditional methods of making money online in SEO don't work so well anymore, and loads of people reacted by utilizing this technique of taking the power and authority of an existing website and piggybacking on the back of it. But even after March of the following months, myself and other experts continue to see these kinds of sites popping up in search results because it's very difficult to filter out. After all, what's the difference between a good high-quality site that Google wants to promote and then just a few people start adding their articles to that site, and then inevitably what happens is other Parasite SEOs discover that and pile in, and suddenly that site becomes flooded with all this affiliate-based content. So in the end, not much Google can really do algorithmically, so inevitably it comes down to manual action, such as we saw with Forbes Advisor recently. As I shared in my previous video, I don't really share Parasite SEO quite so much anymore. It absolutely still works, there's lots of opportunity there, but personally I feel there's more value in really optimizing and refining your existing business. They're basically bigger levers you can pull for lower risk and greater reward. But that's because I've got quite a mature business. If you're just starting out, you're looking for your next side hustle, you're looking for a few extra methods to add to your toolkit, then Parasite SEO is absolutely still valid. In the last 30 days, I've made $350 in commission, and this is from some Parasite SEO I did in January last year. I shared this a number of times. If I take this back to all time, you can see I was doing really well originally, and then the crackdown happened. So I've not done so well since then, but there has still been a residual amount of income coming in of around $300 to $400 per month because of that front-loaded effort I made. So in another 2 months, I expect to cross the $10,000 mark for this particular offer, just in time for the anniversary of that March Google update. But here's a new Parasite that really surprised me, that seems to be doing really well over the last couple of months. As I shared in my last video, the December Google update was pretty brutal on a lot of websites. My clients were largely unaffected that had a good established brand, but a lot of my own portfolio of smaller websites did seem to receive quite a lot of negative attention. But what was really clear was a lot of Parasite opportunities actually came up. So in my last video, I shared how a lot of forums are now dominating the discussions in the forum snippet. That's not just Reddit and Quora, but much smaller niche forums without a whole lot of authority. But because they're forums and they get into that snippet, they were getting huge amounts of traffic. But even outside of those forums, this example, this website was really surprising as a major household name you don't even associate with SEO. Now, just to quickly illustrate for you what I mean about the recent revival in Parasite SEO, this particular article from a year ago, as I was doing so much Parasite SEO a year ago now, it's really interesting to look back and see how those pages have performed over time. Because my big frustration with Parasite SEO was you tend to get a week or two of really good results, and then over time, you start to decay. That page starts to drop in rankings. Now, what most people would do is simply publish another page and get that again and again, using a team, using processes, but it is still work. Whereas in my case, I've got an agency, I've got courses, I've got my YouTube channel. There's a lot of other stuff I've got to be getting on with, which are arguably better profiles of risk to reward. Now, this article was in Tap Into, it's a local news site in the US, and I was using this for basically the local Parasite SEO. So the Phillipsburg, New Jersey section performed really well and was having a lot of Parasites submitting supplement reviews, things like that. And I thought, why don't we go for locally relevant keywords? So for New Jersey, let's do NJ SEO company. And we can see it ranked really well for a time and got some decent traffic, and then it died off. However, if we come down here, we can see at least algorithmically with Google, there is a bit of a return. So we can see it almost completely died off in the summer of 2024. But in the last few weeks, the keywords seem to have been returning, especially in literally the last couple of days. It looks like a lot more keywords are ranking in the top 3. Now, I'm not saying this article is going to make me any money or actually do anything significant, but really interesting that this is just an old page on a website and it seems like it's coming back from the dead. Now, this particular Parasite I identified using my evergreen engineering method. I talk about this in my free Parasite SEO playbook. So I released this last year, it was very popular and it was a paid offer. But now if you sign up through the link below, you can get it instantly, absolutely free. Just fill in your details there and you should receive it straight away in your inbox. And it includes every step towards Parasite SEO success. It literally took my Parasite SEO course and just translated it into a written format. So you're getting hundreds of dollars worth of value in an easy to follow PDF that you can give give to your team if you want. But basically, you put your site into Ahrefs Site Explorer or SEMrush, whatever you prefer, and you put in the keyword of contains best or reviews, because this is how we identify affiliate keyword. And this is where we find out if this site is really ranking well for affiliate keywords and how that looks over time. And we can see over the last year, we've seen a real increase just in the last few weeks and months. So from around 100,000 traffic in September to now 300,000 visitors. These are all for keywords that contain either best or reviews, meaning they're talking about products, meaning there's a likelihood that they represent affiliate links. Now, I said it's a major household name, major website, and the answer is it is Facebook. Specifically, Facebook groups. They seem to be doing very well at the moment for ranking on Google. So just by doing this, I was able to identify quite a few opportunities. Ironically, despite Google being really against this site reputation abuse, Google Map review jobs, the top #1 result is a Facebook group. Now, manipulating Google reviews is not only very black hat, it's also basically illegal, but this Facebook group is able to rank #1 on Google and gets 1,700 visitors per month. But we can go a bit cleaner. If we look at best dog food for golden retrievers, that's a classic affiliate keyword. A nice product suited to a niche, good long tail keyword. And #4, we have a Facebook group. And the really interesting thing about this is it's not even a Facebook group that's been built to target that keyword. This is just a post on a Facebook group. So I can open this up here. So we've just got the generic golden retriever club. I don't think this was built for Parasite SEO purposes. This seems entirely legitimate. And this post is actually only a couple of lines and then has a load of comments underneath. So somehow that seems to be ranking. And I've often said international keywords work really well with Parasite, because even though Google's making these changes, it is very difficult to actually roll those changes out across all the Google algorithms across the world. So if we look at the best lotto banker for today, we've got this #1 Facebook page, or Facebook group rather, only ranks for 300 keywords and yet gets 9,000 visitors a month from that keyword. So I talk about this process in the ebook, but if we just scroll through, you can get an idea of everything that's going on here. Now, a lot of these look entirely legitimate. I don't think people are really abusing Facebook groups yet. So we can see that best dog food for golden doodles, best dog food for golden retrievers, ranking really high up for those keywords. Now, also, if we come over to the side and see this new tag, then that kind of gives me an idea that people are starting to pick up on this. So we've got best rated teeth whitening toothpaste buy online, 45,000 searches per month. And this new page is at number 13. Now, this was a really interesting one. This is clearly a more strategic Parasite SEO approach, because if I open this particular group, you can see it's all an exact match. So the group is called best rated teeth whitening toothpaste buy online. And the only post is best rated teeth whitening toothpaste buy online. Both created on Christmas Day, 2024. And there's barely any optimization that's gone on here. There's hardly any words on here. We've got the title, we've got the about, we've got a post, and just an update saying the group has been created, which again includes that keyword. So really minimal effort in order to rank number 13 for best rated teeth whitening toothpaste buy online. And the value of that traffic is to get 600 visitors a month. The value of that is $1,400 per month. So really interesting. Then we've got this best shampoo for thinning hair at number 9. Let's open that one and have a look. So this is an interesting one. Again, generic group, doesn't look like it's been created for spam purposes, but there's just one post on there from the 19th of December. What is the best shampoo for thinning hair? So it seems almost like if someone just comes along and posts a question on a Facebook group, that question may well rank on Google, and very quickly as well. Now, what do I think is the best use of this? Because of course, we're still using the social media network, and it's going to be quite difficult to stuff in your affiliate link everywhere. Obviously, building your own group would be best, but from the looks of it, it looks like you can just go onto an existing group and ask the question, what is the best X or Y? It does seem like that Google is introducing more and more social media into its algorithm, because I was really intrigued. I assumed all of this was because of the discussions and forums snippet, but actually none of these results I'm looking at are within that snippet. They are just organic links within the standard Google results. So somehow I think social media sites, and in particular individual posts on social media pages, are getting a big boost. Like I say, we often see just a single question on the Facebook group is now one of the top results on Google. Now in that case, very difficult to monetize. Of course, you could slip in your affiliate link in the comments maybe, but then you'll probably get the admins coming after you. So I generally say build your own group. I've talked more about funnels before. I would say that for this, some kind of lead generation angle is probably the best way to go, because there are all these tools basically to help you use your Facebook group to actually grow a lead list. You can basically have a questionnaire when someone applies to your group where they've then got to give their email address. So I think the real value here is actually using Facebook groups as a CRM, which people have been doing for years, using the organic traction on Facebook to get people to join the Facebook group and then get their contact data from that and then be able to sell and cultivate that audience. This, I think, puts that on steroids, because aside from all the organic reach on Facebook, you can also get that group to rank on Google and therefore attract highly qualified inbound leads that way. So early days yet, I don't really think this has been particularly abused. We can see a few good affiliate keywords coming through, like best e-learning platform, but generally a lot of these seem far more accidental. It's not like these have been deliberately targeted. So it looks to me like all to play for. In the example of Reddit before, like I shared, the problem wasn't just Google, but also in March, Reddit got much better at policing outbound links. So that's why my $2,000-$3,000 a month opportunity was suddenly closed. And I really said I wasn't doing anything pure first mover advantage. You've got to get in before everyone else does, and then the platforms make everything far more restrictive. So Facebook groups, still very young, very uncertain, but I think there's big upside to be had there. And it's probably going to be a good while before that becomes too restricted, on the basis that from what I can see, there's not a whole lot of affiliates who are doubling down on that opportunity.